Jim Ratcliffe has reached his verdict on Michael Carrick as the next Manchester United gaffer, and it is causing absolute scenes across Old Trafford. Liverpool are ready to hijack Real Madrid's move for their midfield linchpin, while Florentino Perez plots a brutal overhaul with a massive bid for a Bayern Munich star. Plus, Pep Guardiola has set his sights on raiding Spurs for their key right-back. All this and much more in today's episode. Let's try to hit 250 likes on this video, and we'll be back tomorrow with more transfer madness. Hit that like button, and let's dive in. Real Madrid want Michael Olise, and they want him badly. Sportbild reports the Frenchman has become Florentino Perez's top transfer target after absolutely dominating the Bundesliga this season. Madrid are reportedly prepared to offer around 160 million euros. Bayern Munich's response so far has been a firm rejection. Olise's contract runs until 2029, and the German giants have zero intention of letting him go. Their stance makes total sense. Olise drives the attack and remains central to Bayern's European ambitions. Selling him right now would signal a shift from sporting ambition to pure commerce. Quick pause here. Around 70% of you watch these videos without subscribing. I'm not Florentino Perez. I can't spend 160 million to win you over. So just press that button for free. Inside Madrid, the pursuit has extra urgency. Rodrigo may be heading for the exit, and Olise isn't viewed as a simple like-for-like swap. He's considered a massive upgrade. He's a player who can inject creativity when Vinicius faces triple marking and Bellingham drops into a holding role. Perez also sees this deal through a political lens. The Bernabeu demands spectacle, not just silverware. A marquee signing at this price point sends a powerful message about Madrid's renewed dominance in the market. Getting the deal done is another story entirely. Bayern, in lockdown mode, are notoriously difficult to negotiate with, and they've shown zero flexibility so far. Perez needs a breakthrough, whether through a creative deal structure or sheer persistence. Without one, Olise stays in Munich. With one, Madrid land one of Europe's most exciting attackers. The burden then falls on Bayern to find yet another reason to say no. It's looking highly likely that Adam Wharton will leave Crystal Palace this summer, and the vultures are already circling. According to Football Insider, both Manchester United and Liverpool are gearing up to make proper offers for the midfielder. The biggest surprise is that these rumors didn't break sooner. Wharton's been rock solid all season. He's exactly the sort of young, intelligent midfielder every top club should have scouted ages ago. Palace have him locked down until 2029, so the Eagles could easily dig their heels in. But look at the wider context. Glasner has already confirmed he's off at the end of the campaign. The team haven't exactly been setting the world alight, and drifting through mid-table with no European football isn't what Wharton signed up for. He's made no secret of wanting Champions League nights and regular England call-ups, meaning his ambitions clearly require a bigger stage. For United, this move makes perfect sense. Casemiro is heading for the exit, leaving a gaping hole in the holding role. Wharton is the ideal replacement, young, combative, and brilliant on the ball. This isn't just a nice bit of business, it's an urgent fix for a position that's been crumbling for months. Liverpool won't back off easily, though. Slot wants to lighten the load on Gravenberch and add proper competition in the middle of the park. Wharton is exactly the type who can rotate seamlessly or force his way into the starting 11 for the massive games. Palace will slap a huge price tag on him, no doubt about it, but players of Wharton's caliber simply don't stick around at mid-table clubs when the Manchester and Merseyside heavyweights roll up with blank checks. Watch this space. This isn't just paper talk, it's a transfer that's been brewing for far too long. Manchester City are back in the hunt for Pedro Porro. Football Insider reports that Guardiola has finally made up his mind to sort out the right-back spot. It's been a proper weak link since Walker's departure, and the #1 target is the Spanish fullback currently at Spurs. There is a deep irony to this, though. Porro was actually on City's books not that long ago. They picked him up from Girona for pocket change, but the lad never got a single minute with the first team. He went on loan to Valladolid, then Sporting, where he properly kicked on and earned his big move to London. Now, the citizens want him back. It's a textbook case of letting a gem slip through your fingers. Spurs are in a massive mess right now. They're stuck near the bottom of the table. facing a genuine relegation scrap. If they do go down, there's absolutely no way they're keeping hold of Porro. Even in this shocking campaign, he's been one of their brightest sparks. He carries the attack and produces magic from set pieces. A player of his quality would just rot in the Championship. City can see what's happening, and they look ready to move fast. It all comes down to the price tag. If Spurs stay up, City will have to splash serious cash. But if they drop, a clear window opens to get him without breaking the bank. The whole saga is a proper transfer circus. You buy a player, don't give him a sniff, shift him on, and then years later come crawling back paying over the odds. Well, at least this time round, Porro would actually get a real crack at the first team, assuming Pep doesn't suddenly decide he fancies someone else. If you've just gone scrambling to Google whether Alisson has done a runner to Al Nassr, you can calm down. That hasn't happened. Liverpool have quietly pulled off a brilliant bit of business behind the scenes. They triggered the one-year extension clause in the 33-year-old Brazilian's contract. No fuss, no press conference, just like that. Alisson Becker is locked in until the summer of 2027. At face value, it's an easy decision. You don't let a keeper of that caliber walk for nothing, especially when the big boys are sniffing around. According to ESPN, Inter and Juventus have been doing laps around Anfield trying to get this deal done. Both are crying out for a genuine number one, and both were clearly ready to swoop. But there's more to this than just protecting a club asset. You remember Georgi Mamardashvili, don't you? Liverpool snapped him up from Valencia last summer, and by all logic, this was meant to be a transition. Alisson's contract running down, Mamardashvili stepping up, the Brazilian taking his bow and heading for the exit. A clean, textbook succession plan. Instead, Liverpool have ripped up that playbook. They're choosing to stick with Alisson, even though the heir to the throne is already in the building. That decision sends two clear messages. First, Alisson still has it. He's had a few niggles, sure, but when he's between the sticks and fully fit, he remains one of the very best in the world. Arne Slot has clearly looked at his squad and decided that experience and leadership count for more right now than a long-term project. Second, this is entirely about leverage. If Inter or Juve come crawling back next summer, Liverpool won't be handing out freebies. They'll be demanding a proper check. As a result, Mamardashvili just has to bide his time. Alisson is still the main man in that box, running the show. Clubs usually rush to push veterans out the door. Keeping hold of one might feel romantic, but it's actually just cold, hard pragmatism. It's a bet on experience, with a built-in safety net just in case the plan needs to change. Arsenal haven't even waited for summer to stir up their fan base with transfer talk. The groundwork is happening right now, and the primary target is Castello Lukeba from RB Leipzig. According to L'Equipe, the Gunners have properly entered the race. Negotiations, scouts in the stands, and early phone calls are all in motion. Remember, Lukeba's contract runs all the way to 2029, so Leipzig aren't going to let him walk out the door on the cheap. For those who haven't kept close tabs on the Bundesliga, Lukeba is a brilliant, silent operator. He's a left-footed centre-back who doesn't just snuff out attacks, he starts them from the back. In the modern game, that combination is absolutely priceless. He's only 22. He's already nailed down a starting role. And even though Leipzig have had a rough season by their own standards, nobody can blame him for their struggles. If anything, the team's issues have only pushed his personal reputation higher. Arsenal aren't just admiring from a distance. Reports suggest the two sides have been talking for weeks, and a club representative showed up at Leipzig's match against Borussia Dortmund. That could just be routine scouting, but when visits like that line up with talk of active negotiations, it smells a lot more like a concrete plan. This won't come cheap. Leipzig are notoriously tough negotiators, and they know clubs in England and Spain are circling. The asking price is reportedly in the 60 to 70 million euro bracket, and that isn't a random number. It factors in his age, the length of his deal, and his status as a top-level defender who is still rapidly improving. For Arsenal, this is far more than a vanity signing. Arteta is obsessed with versatility, and he demands his defenders be comfortable on the ball. Lukeba fits that brief perfectly. A natural left foot in central defense acts almost like a separate currency in today's market. The dilemma now is whether Arsenal are ready to commit close to 70 million when other positions also need reinforcement. But given how early they've pushed for this deal, they clearly don't want to let him slip away. If Arsenal truly go all in, we are looking at a proper summer auction for one of Europe's top young defenders. Florentino Perez has launched a full-scale clear-out at the Bernabeu. Eduardo Camavinga, one of Madrid's most dynamic midfielders, is now officially available. Marca confirmed the club have approved his summer exit, entirely stripping away his untouchable status. Liverpool have pounced immediately. The Reds have tracked Camavinga since his Rennes days. They lost out when Madrid swooped in 2021 for roughly £40 million, but their interest resurfaced during the January window, and it's now burning hotter than ever. The fee involved is staggering. Camavinga is 22 with a deal locked in until 2029. Madrid hold all the leverage, so most expected a price tag well north of €100 million. Instead, reports indicate €50 million could open the door. In today's inflated market, that fee for a player of his quality borders on a total giveaway. Perez's motivation is purely financial. A massive squad rebuild requires massive funding, and the target sits at around €300 million in total sales. Sentiment doesn't factor into the equation when the numbers are that ambitious. Every single player carries a price. One sticking point could derail things though. Madrid want a swap deal involving Dominik Szoboszlai rather than a straight cash payment. Liverpool prefer a clean transaction. Pay the fee, take the player, and move on. That structural disagreement will define exactly how quickly this deal progresses. The message from the Bernabeu is crystal clear. In this rebuild, absolutely no one is exempt, regardless of age, talent, or contract security. Manchester United's current setup belongs in a Hollywood script. It feels too far-fetched for real life. The timeline is simple enough. Ruben Amorim was sacked in January, standard business for modern United. Michael Carrick stepped in as caretaker, a club legend filling the gap, while Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos searched for a permanent manager. There were no grand expectations, no serious targets, just see out the season. Then the results started rolling in. 7 wins from 9 matches under Carrick. For a club that has spent years stumbling through constant crises, that is a remarkable run. The football hasn't been flat either. United found genuine form, built real momentum, and climbed into the Champions League places. A man hired as a temporary solution started producing elite-level results, changing the entire conversation. Ratcliffe surfaced at the Chinese Grand Prix recently, and journalists cornered him immediately. The Carrick question was unavoidable. His response was split down the middle. Praise came first. He's doing an excellent job, absolutely. 7 wins demand that kind of acknowledgement. But when pushed toward a permanent contract, the shutters came down. "I'm not going to discuss that," he said, and walked away. That defensive stance feels very familiar, actually. I'm talking to the big screen brigade, the viewers watching these videos on smart TVs. The analytics confirm you exist. You watch, you absorb every word. But the moment it's time to hit the like button on your remote, you channel your inner Ratcliffe. Not discussing it, goodbye. Finding the like button on a TV remote isn't a complex managerial search. It takes 3 seconds, so just press it and support the channel. Back to United. The board's dilemma is real and growing sharper by the week. Carrick knows the club intimately, the squad responds to him, and Old Trafford has finally rediscovered a sense of purpose. Every logical indicator points toward giving him the job permanently. But institutional logic at United runs on different rails. The new ownership wants a statement appointment, a proven name with tactical pedigree and global stature. Carrick is quiet and unassuming, the exact opposite of a headline signing. Yet his stubborn consistency is forcing the decision-makers into a corner they never anticipated. It's a massive contradiction. United spent months searching the world for the right candidate, and the answer might already be sitting inside the building. Each unbeaten match adds weight to that argument and weakens the case for change. Carrick says nothing. He just works. The owners must now choose, trust what they can see, or tear down something functional for a bigger brand. The clock is ticking, and the fans have zero patience left for politics. They see a team that looks like a team again, and right now, that matters more than anything else.